कुछ MCQ में एक दो जगह मिस्टेक थी, वो रेक्टिफाई करनी है मुझे. Somebody else also has pointed out, but never mind. थोड़ा जो है वो सब चलता रहेगा. So we will now get into the international section, my dear friends. So just a moment. Okay. Where is this chat box? Anyway, forget about this chat thing. So there are roughly around, I have calculated, I would say, in the section called theater, because always there is a one question connected with theater. Sometimes they ask very simple things, sometimes they ask very difficult, but I assume that they would be asking difficult. So before we start that, let me just finish yesterday's section of technical thing of the cinema, which we were discussing yesterday. I could not complete that, so let me finish that quickly first. Okay. So we were in the page number 3. So it's question number 21. Who among the following DOP has never worked with the Indian director Manikal? ये question मैंने क्यों बनाया है? Manikal is one of those directors graduated from FTII Pune who has worked with variety of cinematographers who are FTII graduates. But he always worked with FTII graduate. So, and everybody look forward to work with a person like Manikal. So what I'm saying is that among the following people, one of them has not worked. KK Mahajan has worked with maximum time. Piyush Shah also has worked with Manikal. Nazar, there was a documentary called Nazar, which was shot by Piyush Shah. There was another film of Manikal called Idiot, which was also shot by Piyush Shah. So Piyush has worked with 2-3 projects. Santosh Shivan never worked with Manikal. Anil Mehta did the Cloud, Erotica series. Erotica series, Anil Mehta shot for Manikal. So the answer is Santosh Shivan. Okay, he never worked with him. The well-known book 5 C's of Cinematography, Motion Picture Filming Technique, is written by Joseph V. Marcelli. You need to remember so many Joseph I have put up here: Joseph Campbell, Joseph Canard, Joseph Ye, none of the above. So correct is Joseph V. Marcelli. It's a very famous book. Everybody should try to read it, even if you are an actor. But you should, if you are interested in cinema as such in general, you should try to read this particular book. Coming to another celebrity cinematographer from Sweden called Sven Nykvist. So Sven Nykvist received the Oscar for the best cinematography for the film called Fanny and Alexander. There is another film for which he received the Oscar for cinematography. It's called Cries and Whisper. I have not formulated that question here, but doesn't mean that that film is not important. Fanny and Alexander is a lovable film. If you have not seen, it's directed by Ingmar Bergman. He has worked with maximum times with the Bergman, and that's why he's known internationally. So Sven Nykvist is an important man to be asked in a question with the direction, editing, sound, even acting, I would say. So don't think we are going for acting. Sven Nykvist will not ask. They can ask anything and you can't say no. Which among the following is false about the famous Indian cinematographer Subrata Mitra? If I would formulate a question, I would formulate a question on Subrata. So question is, read it carefully. Always read the question carefully before you start answering. Which among the following is false about Subrata Babu? Means Subrata Mitra. So he shot all the films of Satyajit Ray? No. He shot New Delhi Times? Yes. He got the National Award also for Best Cinematography. He shot Guru? Yes. James Ivory Production, he shot it. He received President National Award for the Best Cinematography in New Delhi Times? Yes. So 3 statements about Subrata Mitra is correct and first statement is wrong. While you might be tempting to think that he has shot most of the film of Satyajit Ray, but which is not correct. So this is an easy question, but little tricky. Which among the following DOPs has conducted lighting workshop in FTII Pune? Now you will say, what the hell you are asking? How do we know the FTII में कौन आदमी workshop करने आया था, कहाँ से क्या? So you should know it little bit. What happened in the past. It's a little difficult question to answer for you people, but still I have formulated. As I said that I am not interested in the simple question. I am interested in the difficult questions. The difficult question is Rahul Godard. Rahul Godard is the cinematographer of Godard's film. He is known all over the world because of the Godard. Like Sven Nykvist is popular because of the Ingmar Bergman. So Rahul Godard is because of the Godard. So Rahul Godard came to do the workshop in FTII many years back. So I have also formulated this question, though it's a little tricky, but I have formulated. Who shot film for Padmavat directed by Sanjay Leela Bhansali? So it's a Sudeep Chatterjee who has shot the Padmavat. So he has done a couple of films for the Sanjay Leela Bhansali. So Sudeep is a graduate from FTII Pune, and we happens to be the batchmate also. Which among the following films directed by Bernardo Bertolucci is not shot by DOP Vittorio Storaro? A difficult question. Why? Because the way Sven Nykvist is known to work with the Ingmar Bergman, Subrata Mitra is known for working with Satyajit Ray. Similarly, Vittorio Storaro is known all over the world, though he has worked with variety of people, but he is known because of the Bernardo Bertolucci. But one of the Bertolucci's film, he has not shot. So what is that film? It is called Stealing Beauty. Little Buddha, Last Tango, Last Emperor, all shot by Vittorio Storaro, but not the Stealing Beauty. Many years back, almost I would say 12 years, 15 years, I was in a Locarno Film Festival, and Vittorio Storaro was heading the jury in that particular year. So he is an important man. He is not just a cinematographer. He is a reputed cinematographer who is renowned to work with the Bertolucci. But he has also shot for Francis Ford Coppola, Apocalypse Now, and a couple of more films. Which among the following statement is false about the director R. Balki, who recently directed Padman? I formulated this question for some other reason. He directed films Ki and Ka and Shamitaba, yes. He directed Pa and Chinikam, yes. All the above mentioned films are shot by P.C. Sriram, yes. All the above mentioned films are shot by Santosh Shivan, no. The correct answer is D. All three are correct statement, and this is the incorrect statement. So sometime depend upon how mad people are there who are formulating question. So as I said in the beginning, I'm not interested in the simple question. I'm interested in the difficult question. Simple question, many people can answer. Difficult question, not everybody can answer. But does not mean that you should not think of simple question. You should think of simple question also, because 80%, 70% question are, I would say, to some extent simple. But this site is meant for difficult questions. So let's get to the theatre. Indian theatre we have already covered. We are getting into the international theatre. So first thing before I say, there are 6 to 7 famous playwrights. They are exclusively playwrights. Some people wrote short stories. They are more famous for novels, but they also have written the plays. So what kind of question can come, only God knows, but I have included all important big names who were exclusively has written the plays only. Some names I have included also of the people who are not only the short story writer, they were the novelist, and they have also written the play. So I would keep marking on and off. I would keep giving the comment wherever there will be a thing. So who wrote the famous play Death of a Salesman? Death of a Salesman is a play which is being done in India also. And please understand, this research I have done through my theatre friends. I have posted a post a couple of years back, 2 years, 3 years, when I was writing my book, first book. So many people responded, this is also important, this is also important. And I also did a little research, which play was performed by whom, who did that play. So some kind of a research was done, particularly for the European plays, Dario Fo and Ginaone and some other people also. Because some people are famous, everybody knows Shakespeare. So I'm not interested in a Shakespeare. I'm interested in some weird names you will be hearing first time in your life. If you are not really into the international theater in terms of the names, I'm not talking about the plays you would have done or read it, but at least you should have some vague idea about the name of the play and written by. So Death of a Salesman, Arthur Miller, performed many times in India. If there is a image, let me just show it to you. Okay, here it is the image. So this is just the one of the image. It's a good idea to have a couple of more images, but at least we have included one. Okay, who wrote the famous play Rhinoceros? The Hindi version of this play Rhinoceros is called Genda, जो जंगल में मिलता है, and it was done by a friend of mine also, who is no more now, from West Bengal, Calcutta. He is no more. His Genda was performed in the Bharat Rang Mahotsav. That's how I first time and probably last time I saw this play. It's by Eugenie Ionesco. These names are a little difficult to pronounce. So there is a one feature in the Google. If you put this name and say how it is pronounced, you will find some 2 or 3 YouTube videos where this name, correct pronunciation of this name is given over there. So I would suggest that take this little pain to be able to pronounce this name correctly, because what happens is, if you can't pronounce the name correctly, then you feel little odd when some other people pronounce it correctly. So I am not among those who pronounce name correctly, but still you should at least also try. So Eugenie Ionesco is Rhinoceros. It's performed in India by a variety of people. So correct answer is Genda in Hindi. That was the Indian version. The Power of Darkness. Now when you read a name of the play, don't get confused immediately and don't jump into the conclusion. As I said, that because all these foreigners' names sound sometimes similar, sometimes there is a little bit of similarity in the names or confusion is there. So take your time and only then you should be able to write. So this is a play by Tolstoy, and though other people are also playwrights, but if you are not aware, then the guesswork will not help, to my understanding. But sometime when you don't know at all, then you have to do a guesswork. And since there is no negative marking, so it's fine. You can always guess it. So Mousetrap is Agatha Christie, is a well-known name for the novelist. Those who read the English literature or who has done the English honors, they must have read something by the author. So Mousetrap is a known work of Agatha. So coming to the Mad Woman of Shalott, is a French name, and obviously the French writer is also there. This is, if I have to choose a French play, and if I don't want to choose the Molière, for example, then I would choose this particular play because it is being done in India by Dr. Neelam Mansingh Chaudhary, and a couple of more people also have performed this play. It's a French writer called Jean Giraudoux. And as I said, that is a French name, so I may not be absolute correct, but Jean Giraudoux is a popular and well-known playwright. If Molière is much more popular in terms of the people, French playwrights, but Jean Giraudoux is also, may not be that popular, but important. It's an important playwright. So Mad Women of Shalott is performed by the Dr. Neelam Mansingh Chaudhary many years back. So question number 6, let me just see if there is an image for this Mousetrap also. Okay, so there is this simple image, and this Mad Woman, let me figure it out. There must be some interesting image. Yeah, so you could see that there's a little funny kind of a lady wearing this hat, and it's a French play, so translated by someone else. So this Mad Women is important play. If I have to choose one play by Jean Giraudoux, so I would prefer this. Now, who wrote the famous play Maid? Maid is a very common name, but again, until unless you are not familiar. Another French author who is equally celebrity in terms of the playwright is called Gina Ano. It's again French name. Some you may like to remember it, Jean Genet. It's fine. You can remember whatever best way you would like to, but the pronunciation is a little tricky. So the maid is by Georgina, and this is, let me see if there is a image of this play. So yes, a very interesting poster. So you could see sometime when you read the little synopsis of this play, you would also try to decipher why such kind of poster was made by someone. So though they normally don't ask, but yes, if you remember the direction, particularly student need to be a little more careful, because they would ask a painting to be analyzed, but they can also ask a poster to be analyzed, which is could be of a popular Hollywood film or maybe a popular Indian film, to check your observation power. But that we will do it when we will do 5 days classes. So maid is again Jean Genet, and Death Watch. Death Watch has a very interesting poster, if I have included that, because there are a couple of posters available on the internet for this. Okay, so you could see that how a wall is there, and then some people are in the prison, just the hands are over there. So I found this image to be very interesting, so I have included this. So Death Watch is again the Jean Genet. Desire Under the Elms. Again, all these playwrights are there, which are equally renowned, but you have to be very careful when you choose a play. So Eugenie O'Neill, again American author, is one of the celebrity. Here you could see it is not an image from a play, but it is an image from a film. So this lady in the front is popular Italian actress Sophia Loren, and she has also got an Oscar for a film called Two Women. It's directed by Vittorio De Sica, Italian director. She has worked with De Sica a couple of times. So Two Women is a very, very important film. Which Italian actress got the Oscar? So the first one was someone else, but this film is important. And it's not a foreign language Oscar. Remember, the Two Women, Sophia Loren got the Best Actress award, which is given to generally American actresses. So she was Italian actress who got the award. So you can imagine the importance of this play, because there was a film was also made on the same name. So the lesson, again, as I said that I have selected around 6 to 7 plays of a well-known author who would have written maybe 20 or 30 plays, but I have just filtered to the couple of plays, so that you should concentrate only on the plays. Like I remember when we were the student in our 7th, 8th standard, we do not want to take the pain. So just before the semester exam, we will request the teacher to tell us some important question. So which means exam would come from those question only. So there is nothing like that important question, but still if a play is being performed by a variety of people all over the world, it becomes a important play. So the lesson is by Eugenie Ionesco. Let me see if there is an image. So you could see is a little strange kind of image, but that's the way it is. Okay. Cheers is one of the play in which there is no dialogue. Okay. And many, many years back, I saw this play in Bombay, in the basement of, in the Worli area. There is a place over there where there is a basement, which is basically a planetarium, but basement people do the production. So Atul Kumar is a very important name in the Indian theatre, and he performed this play called The Cheers. So since I saw this play, so I remember, and it was a wonderful play. It's very difficult to think of a play which is not having any dialogue, or rather having a minimum dialogue. So The Cheers by Eugenie Ionesco, again, is if I need to choose one name of a play by Eugenie, I would prefer to ask about The Cheers. So you can imagine how important this play is. So who wrote the famous play Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Now if you recollect this particular name, it sounds very very familiar, because there is a film also by the same name. Okay, So there's another American playwright who has written many plays. So one of them is this particular thing. It's called Edward Albee. So correct answer is first one. Albee has also written a play called Zoo Story. I must have formulated that question somewhere else. I will just see. Just a moment. Let me just silence this small thing. Okay. So this is again, who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Popular name, popular play, and hence film also was done on the same name. So Edward Albee. Again, the Hairy Apes. Hairy Ape is another play which is not performed in India very often, but I would not say it is not important. It is again an important play. Again, the same author, Eugene O'Neill. Marco Millions. There's an Italian name called Marco Muller, who was heading the Rotterdam Film Festival. Then he was the president of Locarno International Festival. So Marco Muller, whenever I think of this Marco Muller, I always remind me of this play, Marco Millions. So again, is not performed in India very often. But as I said, that many plays which are not performed in India does not mean they are not important. They are important, performed in America and other places. So again, the same author, Eugene. Let me see if there is an image. Okay, so is a cover of the book I have included. I did not find many, what I call that thing. So who wrote the famous play, Long Day's Journey into Night? Read it carefully. There is a similar kind of a name, which is Satyajit Ray has made a film called Aranya Din Ratri. It is also similar kind of a translation. So this is one of the play again by the same author which we are discussing so far, Eugene O'Neill. Okay, so Beyond the Horizon, as I said that one person may have written many productions, so not necessarily famous one will come, depend upon the person who is suggesting the name. As I said that these names are suggested by a variety of people who are domain experts. So if somebody who personally like a play like Beyond the Horizon, he might suggest this play question. So again, the same author, Eugene O'Neill, which we are talking about so far. So I've covered more or less important plays by the same author. Again, I just said up there about this guy called Edward Albee, and there's another American playwright which is very important. He has written a play called The Dumb Waiter. Since now I have given the clue, so you can imagine all these people except Eugene O'Neill and Harold. So Pinter is another important. Dumb Waiter is performed by a variety of people in India. National School of Drama students has also performed this play. Last year in Bharat Rang Mahotsav, a play from Manipur. Ratnayam San also performed this particular production. So Dumb Waiter is famous play by Pinter and could be asked if someone wanted to suggest a formulate a question on the Pinter. So who wrote the famous play Traveler Without Luggage? Now sometime these are the translations of original name. So if it is a French or German, whatever it is, the translation name would remain same. So Traveler Without Luggage is Jean Genou Enoch, as we have talked about earlier also. He has done another written the play. So let me see, there is no image of the play, but again, at least I could found this thing. So I just mentioned it here. Who wrote the famous play Candida? So again, as I said that the guesswork sometimes don't help until unless you really know. Another playwright which is important because he has written many plays, though I have not included so many, is called George Bernard Shaw. So Candida is one of the popular play by Bernard Shaw. Let me see if there is some interesting image I must have included. Yes. So it's a cover of the book only, but not of the play. But Candida is a non-play. Sweet Bird of Youth. Okay. So again, there are choices over here, A, B, C, D. and if you're familiar with the name, you could easily figure it out. Tennessee Williams is another playwright from there. This is the first play we have included here probably. So Tennessee Williams could also be asked. I have included some American playwrights, not everyone, but at least few. So Sweet Bud of Youth is equally important a play. Now, this play, The Glass Menagerie, is also performed in India by a couple of people. Though it's American production, but performed by some group here and there. So it's the same author, which is Tennessee Williams. So let me see if there is some play image of a poster. Okay, so this is an image from a poster. You can see that 4 people are having a dinner or drink, and then you see the horse in the background. Sometimes some strange kind of poster you will see, but that's the way it is. So this covers the 20 questions. All these names which I have included are important playwrights and their important plays. So if somebody has written 30 plays, 20 plays, obviously 20 will not be asked. 4, 5, 6 maximum are the plays which are known all over the world. So we'll go further, and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. By the same name, a film is also being made. So it's a popular name, popular play and popular film also. So again, the Tennessee Williams. Let me see if there is an image for it. Okay, so you can easily recognize who is this person, Elizabeth Taylor, and I've taken from the film just to give you the idea that how important this particular play is. So we'll close this. Summer and Smoke, again the same guy, Tennessee Williams, and let me just show you the image of the poster. So you could, interesting dance kind of a image is there. So again, a smoke is coming out on the top, but an interesting image. Okay. Now, sometimes these names are difficult to pronounce of the original play also. So, and not so many plays are written by this person. So it's Lucia Anasia Sensa, something like that. But this play, I have read it about it, and somebody in India performed this play also. So I included this too, and this is the only image I could find. So this, not so many, but just at least one. Antigone is very popular and performed all over the world. At least I have seen 3 productions of Antigone, and again the French author Jean-Enoch is the author for the play. Who wrote the famous play Major Barbara? Again, Major Barbara is by the same author, George Bernard Shaw. Couple of plays I have included of the Bernard Shaw, which are being performed in India at least. How he lied to her husband. Sometimes these kind of long names are there, but again, is the same author, George Bernard Shaw. Sometimes their Hindi translations are a little weird. There are 2-3 different translations are done by various people. Like one of the play by Dario Fo, I would talk about that later on. It's called Can't Pay, Won't Pay. So somebody did a translation called Chukayenge Nahi. Somebody did a translation like Ama Jane Bhi Do Yaro, something like that. So sometimes people make it a little catchy, their Hindi translation, not following the exact rule of what exactly should be the translation of that. Poor Bitos. Poor Bitos is also performed in India, not very often, but at least some people have done it. So again, the same French author, Jean-Enoch, is the author of this. Street Come Named Desire is a famous play, and there's a film also by this name. Those people who keep watching the Hollywood film, they will be knowing very easily who's the writer. Again, the Tennessee Williams. Let me see if there is an interesting image. Okay, so you could see this bathtub and somebody is drinking, and little simple poster, but not that complicated a poster. So this name I could never pronounce, but let me just try. Nekrasov. Nekrasov is a play by a very famous French philosopher, Sartre, Jean-Paul Sartre. So those who have read a little bit about Sartre, this is another play which is Waiting for Godot. It is his most famous, popular, and difficult play to perform for an actor also. So many people who have studied the literature, it is also in their syllabus. So this is another play which is equally important, and I'll show you the image. So you could see this strange kind of image of this poster. Who wrote the famous play Respectful Prostitute? Now, it's a little strange name, Respectful Prostitute. It's again the same guy, the Jean-Paul Sartre. And let me see if there is an image. Okay. So you could see this lady smoking, and in the back side is a shadow is of a man. So that's what makes this poster a little interesting. And it looked like a DVD, so it could be a film also, I'm not sure of. But if it is a film, then it's good. If it is not, then at least the name of the play is important. So we'll go a little further. So we come to almost 31. Okay. Tartuffe is Moliere's one of the famous play. One of the most famous play, I would say, is Tartuffe. It is done by Prasanna with the National Drama Repertory Company. I have seen that play also. And Tartuffe was also done last year by a third-year student diploma production in NSD. So as I said, that time and again, people try to perform this play, Tartuffe. So Moliere, most of the plays of Moliere are comedy. So you could see here this little name. Another play is Misanthrope, also popular play by the same author, Moliere. So you could see that costume and all that looks like some French guy of period time. Coming to another play called No Exit. No Exit is another French author, same guy which we have already discussed, Jean-Paul Sartre. So let me just show the image of the play. So you could see an interesting image, and how that small house is there, and they have these three people are sitting at a different level. So this is the one of the image. Don Juan in Hell. There's a play many years back I saw in Shriram Center. It was a play directed by Satyadev Dubey with Naseeruddin Shah playing the lead in that particular film, so particular play. So Don Juan is again kind of famous, I would say, again, but the Moliere. If there is an image, let me just share the image with you. Okay, so this is from the collection of book. So that's it. Okay. Maria is again August Steinberg. Steinberg is a well-known playwright. And in India, many people prefer to perform his plays. So Steinberg is an important name to be remembered. It could be asked into the question paper if somebody like his work. Depend upon, see, as I said, that whosoever would suggest, he would suggest his liking. Somebody like Daryofo, he would suggest a question on Daryofo. Somebody like Sartre, he would suggest a name on the Sartre. Somebody like Moliere, so he would suggest the Moliere. So depend upon the person to person. Again, the creditors are again by the same guy, Steinberg. So here you could see little B and this red dots, and this is a play. If you know the synopsis, then probably you would be able to understand the poster. Sometimes posters are very difficult to understand, but that's the way it is. The Dance of the Death, again the same guy, Steinberg. You could see the very strange kind of heads are there and how these nakhun are being used over there. So as I said, that Dance of the Death is also an important play. House of Bernarda Alba we had discussed yesterday. It's a Spanish playwright called Lorca, which is directed by in India called Din Ke Andhere, and it was Ibrahim Al-Kaji who did the production with Hema Singh and other people with the repertory, NSD repertory. This poster is still there in the corridors. If you go to the NSD sometime, when you enter in the main corridor on the right side, you will see the poster, well-designed poster of this particular thing, House of Bernarda Alba. If I have to ask any question connected with Lorca, I would prefer this particular question. So the play is performed all over the world. Let me see if I have included, you could see these different images and somebody is in the red costume. Now this poster also might remind you a poster of a film called Ravan. If you recollect the Shah Rukh Khan's film, so maybe somebody would have got inspired from this kind of image, though they have changed the idea of other things, but the theme, seed ideas you can pick up from anywhere and recycle that and put it into a different situation. So that's the way it is. Moving to a most important man in the history of theatre called Bertolt Brecht. Brecht has written more than, I would say, 20 plays and is one of the...
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. आपने सर उसका आंसर नहीं बताया.
इसका आंसर नहीं दिया?
38.
इसका आंसर नहीं दिया?
38. Who wrote the famous play The House of Bernarda?
Yeah, I told you that Lorca, Federico Garcia Lorca.
Okay.
I just said the last word because sometimes people don't remember the long name. So if you tell someone Federico Garcia Lorca, of course, but sometimes just the last name, everybody will not say Jean-Paul Sartre. People say Sartre. Sartre means Jean-Paul Sartre. There can't be second Sartre. If you say Lorca, Lorca means Federico Garcia Lorca. So I didn't pronounce the correct name. If you say US, US means USA. So sometimes you don't say the full name. So Lorca is a short name and full name is Federico Garcia Lorca. I put the full name because in the examination, they will not put the short name. They will give the full name of the person. Sometimes you get confused with the full name also, right? So like PL Deshpande. PL Deshpande, I didn't know what is this PL stand for. So later on, I realized that it is something else. So if sometime you are more familiar with the short abbreviation of the name, but it's good idea to remember the full name of the person. So three-penny opera, as I said, that most popular play performed in India by Bertolt Brecht is three-penny opera. Many people have performed, or others, I would say, if you do a survey about Brecht's most popular play performed in India, at least that much, and obviously abroad also, is three-penny opera. But maybe somebody else has a different opinion. So let me just show you the image. So it's a simple hanging rope is there. So sometimes the image is different and you're not able to connect the image with the theme of the play. But again, you have to really figure it out and find out why that kind of poster is being made by someone. So here is Miss Julie, again the same guy.
So Bertolt Brecht is from?
Say again.
So Bertolt Brecht is from
Germany. He's from Germany. He's from Germany.
Okay.
During the time of World War, he had many problems with the German Nazis. So he has a tough time at that time. He has written a couple of books also, and when the acting classes would come, I will briefly give some idea about this, though I would be discussing more of the question papers rather than this. But anyway, Miss Julie is again Steinberg, and let me show you some interesting image. Yeah, there's image from the book only, but this is also a performance. Steinberg's performed play, widely performed play, I would say. So again, we have covered more or less 40 questions so far, and we have roughly around, I suppose, 80 or something like that. So never mind. Time is less, but I don't want to hurry it up, so that commenting on a particular play, if it is important, if widely performed or not, is more important rather than just rushing through this question paper questions. So, who wrote the famous play In the Jungle of Big Cities? Not a very popular production, but Bertolt Brecht's, in India at least, but abroad it is being performed. So, Brecht's non-play for sure. Life of Galileo is performed by a National Theatre Drama Repertory Company, in which two actors, which are known in Bollywood nowadays, they acted in that particular play. So, is again a, I would say, well-known play in India at least, I would say, and same guy, the Bertolt Brecht. Yarma. Yarma is again Dr. Neelam Singh Chaudhary has performed this particular play. So again, same Spanish guy, Lorca. So Federico Garcia Lorca. So you could see the image of the poster is little hypnotizing. One person and other in the black, and some white curtains are here. So you may, if you search on the Google, you will find a couple of more interesting images of this particular play, Yarma. Blood Wedding by the same guy, Lorca, and hopefully there should be some interesting image. So you could just see a flower in red, blood red color, and simple name, Blood Wedding. So Lorca is an important playwright. The Wild Duck. The Wild Duck is, again, I have given you 4 or 5 choices over here, but if you don't know, then it will be difficult. So is Henrik Ibsen is another playwright, which in the past, I'm sure 1 or 2 play names we have already covered, but this is another play which is non. So you could see this interestingly image photographed of the same author. So you could use this thing. Okay, The Mother Courage. This is, I remember the Hindi version of this play was performed by M.K. Rana in Delhi, and so again we can say this is an important play. It's by Brecht again, and if I have a poster, I'll show you. So you could see this red color and 1% the background only. Himmat Mai was the Hindi translation of this particular play, I remember. Himmat Mai. Mai stand for mother, Himmat stand for courage. So that was a Hindi translation they come out with. M.K. Rana is an important theatre director and actor. He has acted in 27 and also 2-3 important films in Bollywood, but not so many. But he's more of a theatre director. Okay, Mr. Puntila and his man Mati. So again, is a little long name, but again, sometime long or short doesn't matter. So Brecht's play, and if there is an image, let me just come out to it. So you could see sometime the image you could recollect, and it helps you to remember the name of the play. Again, A Doll's House. A very, very popular and famous production, and I would say, just give me a moment. कैफुद्दीन, आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा. अभी मैं आधा घंटा लगेगा मुझे फ्री होने में. मैं कॉलेज में हूँ, आपको वेट करना पड़ेगा. नहीं, आ जाइए, लगा दीजिए. आपको आधा घंटा वेट करना पड़ेगा, या कम से कम 10 मिनट तो करना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, आपको मिला नहीं है तो कोई बात नहीं, ढूंढ लीजिए, फिर कल लगा दीजिएगा. ठीक है? Sorry, my AC is not working, so I have to just, this is an important call. So anyway, Doll's House, yes. If, as I said, that sometimes some of the plays become cult in the sense performed millions of times and everybody knows about it. So when we talk about Henrik Ibsen, we will talk about the Doll's House. If you ask, I ask an actress, very often I ask my friends, which is a character you would like to play from a particular play. So sometimes some women actresses do mention the name of Doll's House. So it's a very important play by Ibsen. So it could be asked, easy question to formulate because it's a popular play, but easy does not mean if you don't know, then it is difficult. The definition of easy and difficult is, if you know something, then it is easy. If you don't know something, then it is difficult. So doll's house, if you are hearing first time, and if you hear that thing also in the examination first time, so it will be difficult for you. But if you already know, so Ibsen's most popular play in India at least is Doll's House. If there is an image, did I show you? Okay. So it's little painting and then you see cover of a book. So interestingly designed cover of the book. Okay, this is also a well-known play, The Good Woman of Szechuan. As it, this name sound like a German name. So it is a German playwright. So it's again Bertolt Brecht. So let me see if there is an image. Yeah, The Good Woman of Szechuan. It's a copy you could see, and then below you could see that this greenery and all that. Comic mystery. Comic mystery, again, I have given a couple of names over here. So you could see that Dario Lorca is there, Beth is there, Henrik Ibsen is there. And there's another new name I have introduced first time. It's called Dario Fo. Okay. So, as I said, that Dario Fo is an Italian playwright, and he passed away a couple of years back only. So, but not recently. 3-4 years back he passed away. So Dario Fo, most of the plays of Dario Fo are basically comedy and satire. So his comic mystery is one of the play by Dario Fo. In India, Dario Fo's plays are being performed very often because they are comedy and people love to watch comedy plays. So this is one. Then we'll move to a little further. There's still time. Okay. Who wrote the famous play Little Eyolf? Little Eyolf is also not well known, but still performed in India by a couple of people. Again, is Henrik Ibsen. So let me just show you the image. You could see this interestingly designed poster with this green background and this kitty pitty is there. So that's one. Dario Fo's most popular play in India, Can't Pay, Won't Pay. Chukayenge Nahi is the Hindi translation by many people who did this performance. And the comedy play most popular in India is Can't Pay, Won't Pay. So if they will formulate one question on Dario Fo, it will be Can't Pay, Won't Pay. Let me just show you some image if it is there. Okay, you could see this hilarious guy. Hedda Gabler. Hedda Gabler is again performed in India also, and abroad it is performed very often, but in India also people have performed Hedda Gabler. It's again the Ibsen. And the Dream Play. The Dream Play, last year I would say, was performed by a theatre director who came with a second-year student production to do this. So it is Steinberg's play. They did a wonderful production, if you people have seen it, with a second-year student. I don't remember the name in a Hindi translation, what they did it, but the most fascinating in terms of the overall idea and thing like that. So let me just show you the image. Here you go. It's a little strange poster, but that's the way it is. Okay. So again, Accidental Death of an Anarchist. A popular play performed in India many times. And again, the same guy, Dario Fo. As I said, the Dario Fo's plays are very popular in India. And this is one of the play which is performed by many people all over the country. If you ask anyone Dario Fo, they might mention the name of this play also. Can't Pay, Won't Pay and Accidental Death of an Anarchist. Okay. The Shoemaker's Prodigious Wife. So here, as I said, that until unless you do not know the name, you can't guess it. But it's an important play by Lorca, and let me just show you the image. Okay. So you could see that Spanish feel and the play of a poster. Whosoever has designed it is interestingly designed poster. So 57. Who wrote the famous play The Rise and Fall of the City Mahagoni? It is again the German playwright Bertolt Brecht. So you could see how many people are there and something going on, and so interesting to note that there are many characters in this play, and you could feel the number of people performing. Okay, this is again performed many a times in India by variety of group. Coxian Chalk Circle. Again, as I said that last year in NSD also they performed with a second year student. The same production of by the same name, again by German playwright Bertolt Brecht. Tale of a Tiger. So Tale of a Tiger is another play by performed in India also and all over the world. Dario Fo, Italian name which I have just mentioned to you. And if there is an interesting poster, let me see. Okay, sometime I just put the name. I couldn't find the play's poster, but playwriter's poster is also important for you to know the name of the thing. Who wrote the famous play The Fan? Now, if you look into the variety of people whosoever has written over there, now I am introducing a new name in this one called Carlo Goldoni. Carlo Goldoni is another important Italian playwright after Dario Fo, or equal to Dario Fo, you would like to say. Another playwright which is performed in India. Let me see if there is a people. So more or less we are done for today's thing, and there are still some. थोड़ा म्यूट कर लीजिए आप लोग जो आदमी अनम्यूट करके बैठे हुए हैं, थोड़ा म्यूट कर लीजिए. वी आर ऑलमोस्ट रैप्ड अप. 60 क्वेश्चन हम लोगों ने कवर कर लिए हैं, जबकि इसके अंदर टोटल जो है करीब 89 के करीब क्वेश्चन है, और भी क्वेश्चन इसमें 10-15 क्वेश्चन मुझे ऐड करने हैं. ऑन एंड ऑफ आई कीप एडिंग इट. So this finishes the 5 days program. Today is the last day for this MCQ thing. By mistake, I have added another number over there, but it is 5 days as mentioned in all the programs are for 5 days. So this is in brief. 1 hour is covered. Since, as I said, I wish I could have stayed a little longer, but since I have to attend some other webinar at 7 o'clock, so I would not be able to continue with you. So if you still have quickly, because most of you have registered for MCQ plus one more thing. So we are going to meet soon. Tomorrow will be off, and then there's a class of, I suppose, direction, and then other people are being queued up. So if somebody has a quick question, I can answer it.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, are SRFTI alumni important as FTI alumni?
As I said, what's your name?
Sir, Rahul, sir.
Rahul Roy.
Ji, sir.
Rahul Roy. Some people are who has made their mark, but not so many people. At least I am not familiar with. I have done a little research also who are the popular people. So there's an editor lady is there who has done a couple of films with the Yash Chopra banner. Then there are a couple of cinematographer also. They are not big, but again. So alumni of FTI is much more important because they have made their mark. 60 years old institution, obviously.
Yes, sir.
I would suggest FTI alumni. Vandita Gandhi from Pune. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to ask that the question asked last time, which TV serial do you watch and why? So now the webs, can we include a web series as a TV series?
No, TV serial is a different ballgame. TV serial means idiot box, and web series means super idiot box, mobile. So web series is different thing and TV serial is different.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Next.
Hello, sir. Do we need to read about Emmy Awards?
Read about?
Emmy Awards.
What is that?
EMMY. It's an awards about the web series.
Emmy, yes, Emmy Award. Yeah, correct. It is. It is.
Sir,
Okay. So let me just. So many people have raised the hand.
sir.
Daksha iPhone. कौन है भाई Daksha iPhone?
No, sir. I just recently asked the question about MA outs.
Okay, ठीक है.
Sir, one question, sir.
Okay, बोलिए.
Sir, what all extra activities should a director and screenplay writing course we should do, sir?
Extra activity. Read some
Yes,
short
sir.
stories. Watch some important films. Concentrate on few directors. Read about them. IMDb पे जाके मैं बताऊंगा डायरेक्शन के कोर्स के अंदर जब हम क्लास लेंगे क्या करना है आप लोगों को. So let's not waste the time here. There will be specific classes for sure. So more or less I have done. So there are so many.
Sir, one request.
Please.
Sir, can you take one more class on famous directors of India?
देखिए वो क्लास जो है वो इसके अंदर इस वेबसाइट थोड़ा देखो जेब से पैसे थोड़े से खर्च करने पड़ेंगे जिनको, ठीक है, बिना पैसे किए खर्च किए कुछ तुमको लग रहा है फोकट में सब कुछ हो जाएगा, ऐसा होने वाला है. तो इसके अंदर मैंने इंपॉर्टेंट डायरेक्टर्स का एक पूरा सेक्शन बनाया हुआ है जिसके अंदर तेलुगु तमिल ऐड होता रहेगा धीरे धीरे. अभी हम लोगों ने केवल जो है जो वेस्ट बंगाल वाला जो सेक्शन है उसको अपडेट किया है, बाकी सेक्शन धीरे धीरे ऐड हो रहे हैं. तो उसमें भी शाम बेनिगल पे क्वेश्चन है, वेस्ट बंगाल पे देखो 108 है. तो सबसे ज्यादा जो हमने कंसंट्रेट किया हुआ है बंगाली डायरेक्टर्स के ऊपर किया हुआ है, पर इसका मतलब नहीं है कि बाकी फालतू लोग हैं, उसमें भी और लोगों के ऊपर भी क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. तो दे विल बी, सो you need to spend some money if you really want to, but otherwise not necessarily. You could also prepare by yourself. All these names I have given in the book, but if you have not bought the book, so at least you need to subscribe to the next this online version. So that's in brief.
Thank you, sir.
So one last question, sir.
Please.
Sameer over here.
With, as you mentioned, with the Bengali directors, recently Buddhadev Dasgupta passed away.
Correct.
So do we need to give a special focus on him
Yes,
for this year?
yes. Somebody who dies becomes important for FTI entrance exam. Why? Because somebody who is important, not every Tom, Dick and Harry who keep passing away. No. Some important director, actor, actresses, dancer, musician, if he passes away, he becomes more important from the examination point of view. I have made a list of all that, and I keep jotting down all these questions, but in a short span, we could not cover up each and everybody. So you need to, as I said, that I am also planning to do an online course for this 100 days or maybe, 100 hours and 50 days and 100 hours, or maybe 60 days or 120 hours. I still have to figure it out. So if you are really interested in spending some money, you're welcome. But it will take some time for me to confirm the dates and the price and all that. Okay. Anybody else?
So will it be available
have a
for
question.
everyone, or there will be interview?
Say again?
So will it will be accessible for everyone, or there will be an interview or a process that
No,
only
it
this
will
much of
be, online course would be accessible for everybody, but we would also have a limitation. Like in MCQ, there are 200 people who have participated. Now I can't include the 200 people in direction and editing, and they will not be for editing for sure. Direction, acting, and cinematography, because 200 people will be too much of a chaos. So we will have on a first come first serve basis. Say around maximum 60 people we will be able to accommodate, not more than that, because during those hours the acting classes will not be conducted by me. That will be conducted by experts who are ex-NSD professors and those things. I'm not an acting expert, though I can talk at length and conduct these at least classes. I would be able to do it, but I would be conducting mainly the direction class, MCQ class, and partly cinematography class.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I have a question, sir.
Sir, for JET exam,
My
sir,
question is that last year I was asked a question about famous Greek writers, Greek playwrights.
Greek playwright. Yes, there are few.
So could you name them, or could you just educate
I have
me on them?
included them over here also. So in the
Okay.
book also, if you look at it carefully, I think you have a book. So read that book carefully. You will find a few names. Okay. I have a short. And already 704 is there. So I'm launching since most of you would be meeting again in that domain specific. So I'm launching this polling thing. So just press one button and it will be a little helpful for me if you could do that.
Sir, from JET exam, sir, we are eligible for both FTI and SRFTI or
Yes,
only for
it's a joint entrance test. That's why I'll call JET. There's
Sir,
no
so-
separate exam. There is a joint entrance test.
Okay, sir. So the cutoff will be different for FTI
Yes,
and
both are
SRFTI.
different. Everything will be different. SRFTI cutoff different. SRFTI cutoff is always lower than the FTI because FTI is the first priority for people.
Sir, in case we do not get FTI, we have chances for SRFTI then.
Not necessarily, but there is also a difficult exam. But yes, sometimes the waiting list candidates are also picked up in the SRFTI, but FTI waiting list is hardly.
Sir,
Yeah. Police.
if there
Sir,
is
in
a
Kerala there is.
Wait. There is a girl's candidate because we have just talked to Vanita Gandhi, not any other girl candidate. So please ask.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. What's your name?
Sir, my name is Kritika.
Okay, Kritika, boliye.
Sir, if there is a question comes out that what TV programs do we watch, then what would be the suitable answer for it?
I am the wrong person to do it because I don't watch TV program. But from your own, if you do some research and figure it out, which is an interesting program recently was there, so you could figure it out some of the episode of that because they are available on their internet thing. So you could watch that TV serial and probably you could describe about it. Discuss with some TV people who watch TV thing. But I'm not the right person. But I will figure it out also for you guys. Okay. 92, 7 people are still sleeping. Quickly switch on this thing and press this button, and that's it. So, gentlemen, we'll meet soon. Those who has subscribed to the next session. So tomorrow will be off, and then I think the direction thing would start. So we'll be working in a very, very focused manner so that I will not waste your time. Sometimes feedback is always important in terms of the comments, chat comments, and sending it on what you call my WhatsApp group, or not group, because in the group you can't post a comment, but you can post a comment.
सर ये जो recordings जो है ये मिलेगा तो सर?
सब लोगों को दिया जा रहा है recording, आपको भी दिया जाएगा. ये सब लोगों को दिया जाता है, आपको भी दिया जाएगा. ईमेल चेक करिएगा और WhatsApp ग्रुप पे भी ये recording जो है
Okay, thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.